Hello everyone. So after a long time away from my YouTube channel, I've decided that it's time to get back on it. A lot has happened in the past 5 years to say the least, and I'm just hoping to share my thoughts with my audience. I know some people have subscribed, some people may stumble upon me accidentally, but that's fine, that's okay, this is for everyone. Some people will agree, some people will disagree with me. I'm not here to convince everyone of my point of view. It's just my observations, my thoughts and my feelings that I'd like to put on record, really. So I've actually written a little piece that I'd like to read off, and then I'll summarise it at the end. I'll put the thoughts on paper so that I can put everything in it that I wanted to mention, and then I'll freestyle and ad lib at the end. So bear with me while I read this, and then we can expand a little bit after I've read it through. So, first of all, I want to say that I'm not here to lecture you or tell you what to believe. I'm here to share a little of my own journey, and maybe in it you'll recognise parts of your own journey. So, my life has been one of learning through trial and error, as it is for everyone, really, I suppose. Always searching, always getting back up, and when life knocked me down. Even before I was born, I experienced loss. My twin brother didn't make it into this world, and I think that shaped me in ways I didn't understand for many years. And that resilience has been my constant companion. Over time, I began to notice things that didn't add up. Even as a child, lots of things didn't add up for me. Most recently, the air we breathe, once it was pure, now carries things we never used to question. The food we eat is often processed and stripped of the life it once had. I also realise that education often trains us to fit into a system rather than to explore our own potential. I saw how healthcare could actually save lives, but yet also keep people dependent on treatments instead of guiding them to true healing. I saw how banking bound people to endless debt, and how entertainment, though it can inspire, often keeps us too distracted to look deeper and to ask questions. These weren't just random problems, they were connected, and they form a structure that quietly shapes our lives, limiting our choices without us even realising it. My own awakening didn't happen overnight. Sometimes it came through pain, sometimes through quiet moments of clarity. I've made impulsive decisions out of fear, only to later realise my intuition had whispered the truth all along. Over time, I've learned to pause, to listen and trust that inner voice. And now I see that more and more people are beginning to notice the same things. This is what's being called the Great Awakening. It's not an event, but a shift, a remembering of who we are, and a gentle but unstoppable rising of awareness. You don't need to have all the answers, I've found. Awakening begins with one question: what if there's more to life than I've been told? I asked that question and it changed everything. If you feel it stirring inside you, trust it, follow it. That's the first step in your own journey. We're in this together. Not like the politicians say we're in this together, but I mean we really are in this together. And the more of us who awaken, the more the old ways will lose their hold. So I just mentioned a few things there. I mentioned education, I mentioned the banking system, I mentioned the health system. There are lots of institutions that their sole aim is really to control us. And more people are beginning to realise this and beginning to dive into deep rabbit holes. Now, most of us will be considered as being conspiracy theorists and a bit nutty, and well, it's always been like this, the medical system, the health system, the education system, the banking system, and you don't question it, you just go along and you obey. Why? Because that's how we were programmed to behave as children. If you think of children, children are spontaneous. They ask endless questions. They're curious about everything. But what does the education system do when they get into that education system? Or even before the education system, parents are already telling their children what is and what isn't, and really clamping down on their children's curiosity. I've done it myself as a parent. I thought I was doing the right thing. I stifled the creativity of my own child. But what I want to do is I want to create a series of videos touching on each subject. So we've said about education, the health system, money and banking, food, and I want to just kind of analyse it together with anyone that's listening or anyone that stumbles upon my channel. Those ones of you that are currently subscribed, you probably wondered, where did I go and what happened and why did I disappear? This is why. I disappeared because I've been doing lots of unlearning and lots of remembering of who I really am, what I really am, and this is something that is an actual spiritual journey, not a religious journey, because that's another system as well that's put in place to control us. So this channel, I want to offer it up as something to help others with their awakening. In the past, I've spoken about my own situation, I've spoken about my religious experiences, my own personal journey as an ex-Jehovah's Witness, etc. And I think lots of people that came to my channel before were also former Jehovah's Witnesses, but this is more than that now. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that for the time being, and I'm going to ask that you respectfully leave comments, whether you agree or whether you don't agree, but in a respectful manner, because we can disagree without getting into fights and without getting into arguments. But these are my thoughts, and I think and I suspect there are a great big deal of people out there that don't really even know how to verbalise, how to put into words what they're feeling and what they're seeing and what they're experiencing. And so I'm here to be able to help people come to that realisation if they've not been able to put their finger on what's feeling different now in the world. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.